Hello everyone, and welcome back to the WSM. Today, we are re-diving deep into a topic that is an absolute game changer for WordPress developers, the REST API. If you've ever wanted to make your WordPress site do more, talk to other applications, or build a custom front end, then you're in the right place. We're going to cover everything from the basics to advanced techniques. So grab a coffee, and let's get started. What exactly is the WordPress REST API? Think of it as a bridge. On one side, you have all your WordPress content, your posts, pages, users, all that good stuff stored in your database. On the other side, you have the rest of the web mobile apps, other websites, custom software, you name it. The REST API provides a standardized, predictable way for these external applications to communicate with your WordPress site. It lets them create, read, update, and delete content using simple web requests. This opens up a universe of possibilities, transforming WordPress from just a content management system into a powerful, headless content hub. You can build a React or Vue.js frontend, a native mobile app for your blog, or even sync content with another service, all powered by the familiar WordPress backend. Now, as soon as we talk about opening up access to our site, the first thing that should come to mind is security. It's non-negotiable. The great news is that WordPress has built-in security measures for the REST API, but it's crucial we use them correctly. The most fundamental practice is proper authentication. For public data like reading your latest blog posts, you often don't need any authentication. But the moment you want to create or modify content, you need to prove who you are. The most common methods are cookie authentication, which works great if you're logged into WordPress in your browser, and application passwords. Application passwords are fantastic for third-party services. They are specific to an application, and you can revoke them anytime without affecting your main user password. Never, ever send your main password over an API request. Also, always use HTTPs to encrypt the data in transit. This prevents anyone from snooping on the information being sent back and forth. Another key practice is to implement access control. Only give API keys the permissions they absolutely need. If an app only needs to read posts, don't give it permission to delete users. It's all about the principle of least privilege. All right, let's talk about something many of us have faced. You've set up your API, but it feels sluggish. Slow response times are a common headache, but they are fixable. First, check your server. The REST API can be resource intensive, especially with complex queries. Make sure your hosting plan can handle the load. A cheap shared hosting plan might not cut it for a high-traffic API. Next up is caching. Caching is your best friend for performance. You can cache API responses at various levels. Server-side caching plugins like W3 Total Cache or WP Rocket can be configured to cache REST API requests. This means that for repeated requests, WordPress doesn't have to rebuild the response from scratch every single time. It just serves up a saved copy, which is way faster. Another thing to look at is your queries. Are you fetching too much data? The API allows you to specify which fields you want. If you only need the title and author of a post, don't pull the entire post object with all its metadata. Trimming down your data payload can make a huge difference in speed. This is where things get really exciting. While the default API endpoints for posts, pages, and users are incredibly useful, the real power comes from creating your own custom endpoints. Let's say you're building a website for a real estate agency. You have a custom post type for properties, with custom fields for price, square footage, and number of bedrooms. The default API doesn't know about these. But you can easily create a custom endpoint, say wp-json/my-agency/v1 properties. That returns all your property listings formatted exactly how you need them. To do this, you'll use a PHP function called register_rest_root. This function lets you define the root, the methods it accepts like get or post, and a callback function. This callback function is where the magic happens. It's where you'll write the code to fetch your data from the database, process it, and return it as a JSON response. You have complete control. You can perform custom calculations, combine data from multiple sources, and shape the output to perfectly match what your front-end application needs. This flexibility is what allows developers to build truly bespoke applications on top of WordPress. One of the most powerful use cases for the REST API is integrating your WordPress site with third-party applications. Imagine automatically posting your new blog articles to your social media channels. or syncing your WooCommerce product inventory with an external management system, or even connecting to a service like Zapier to create limitless automations. When you do this, managing permissions is critical. You don't want to give a third-party app full administrative control over your site. This is where a protocol called OAuth comes in. OAuth allows users to grant specific controlled permissions to an application without sharing their actual login credentials. You've seen this before at the login with Google or connect with Facebook button. The user is redirected to a trusted site, in this case, your WordPress site, where they can approve the requested permissions. The application then receives a temporary token that it can use to access the API on the user's behalf. Implementing OAuth can be a bit more complex than simple application passwords. But for public-facing applications that need to act on behalf of your users, it is the industry-standard secure way to handle authentication and authorization. Finally, let's circle back to performance. Because a slow API is a useless API. We've already talked about caching and server resources. But there are more advanced techniques we can use. One is database optimization. Make sure your database tables are properly indexed, especially if you're making complex queries in your custom endpoints. A tool like Query Monitor can help you identify slow database queries that might be bottlenecking your API. Another technique is to use pagination. If a request could potentially return thousands of results, like all the comments on your site, you should always paginate the response. The API has built-in parameters for this, like page and per_page. This prevents your server from trying to load a massive amount of data into memory all at once. For developers building JavaScript-based frontends, consider techniques like lazy loading, where you only request the data you need as the user scrolls or navigates through the app. Don't fetch everything up front. Combining smart client-side and server-side optimization is the key to building a fast, responsive, and delightful user experience powered by the WordPress REST API. So there you have it, a comprehensive look at the WordPress REST API. We've journeyed from understanding its core function as a bridge for your content, to securing it with proper authentication. We've tackled common performance issues and unlocked the incredible power of creating custom endpoints to perfectly suit your needs. We also saw how to safely integrate with third-party apps and apply advanced optimization techniques to ensure everything runs smoothly. The REST API truly transforms WordPress into a flexible, powerful application framework. The only limit is your imagination. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this guide has demystified the WordPress REST API for you and inspired you to start building something amazing with it. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into web development. If you have any questions or want to share what you're building, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Till next time, happy coding.